Hello, my mutants. I'm Mutoid. I apologize for the lack of videos lately. I have been, to be perfectly honest, I've been on holiday and then I was quite depressed and just could not be bothered. Panda has been busy with who knows what. But just a quick update. I am planning on carrying on Black Mesa in the near future. Um, I I'm still depressed, but I'm going to carry on because I can fake a happy attitude. Um, but yes, this video is mainly for a quick review, but instead of a game, it's going to be for a movie. It's going to be Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters. Now, I adore the books. I've read every single Percy Jackson book, as well as the Last Olympian books based on the Roman and Greek um, stories, as well as the Kane Chronicles. I just adore Riordan completely. Um, and obviously, for anyone who's read the books, especially Lightning Thief, and saw the movie, they will know how terrible it was. Now, for a movie itself, it was okay, but from an adaptation from the books, it was terrible. They missed out all the plot points, including the Titans. Not one mention of the Titans. Um, the Hellhound at the start that attacked Percy was not sent by Hades, it was sent by Luke. Hades did not appear in the campfire, that I can remember, but I'm pretty sure he didn't. He was not in a giant sign. There was a waiting room, a very comical waiting room of dead people, which is how they got in. And also the pearls that they went to find was actually given by a goddess or nymph, can't remember which, but a deity of the of one of the lakes or rivers, um, and that's how they got the pearls that could get transport them from the underworld to back to the real world. They did not have to fight three different monsters. Those monsters were fought along the way. Um, so yeah, that's the first movie, which was fucking terrible. Now on to the actual point of the new one, The Sea of Monsters. I saw it a couple of days ago, though by the time this is actually released, it would have been a week ago. Um, so basically, the movie in itself was actually pretty good. I will give it props for that. It did make me laugh a lot. Uh, I didn't hate. I watched it purely to hate it, but I did actually find myself enjoying it. Um, but they missed out a lot. They screwed up quite a bit. They actually managed to mention the Titans. Um, uh, in To do that, they introduced the Oracle, which, if memory serves, was actually introduced in the very first book, and it was when the Oracle was introduced, it was made to seem as if you would have nightmares for weeks, or Percy would have nightmares for weeks. He would have trouble keeping his sanity, but if memory serves, every single camper knows about the Oracle. So don't know what they did with that. Um, they got Dionysus quite well. I loved his. I found his character hilarious. They got the wine to water thing quite good. They did the joke about Jesus. I can't remember if that was in the book, but it was quite funny either way. Um, though one thing they didn't do is he was constantly trying to drink wine. And yes, he does try to do that in the books, but not as much as he did in the film. Every time he makes an appearance, he's trying to drink wine. Um, which obviously just turns into water. Whereas in the books, he likes Coca-Cola, which my guess, fair enough, they can't actually do that because my guess is they can't get the license or branding or whatever you need to actually add Coca-Cola in. So that I let that one slide because to be fair, it does have trouble getting it in. Um, Also, one of the problems was now, obviously, I can't remember the books that well. I remember some of the main points, but not others. I don't recall the quest being for Clarice. Also, Clarice was never mentioned in the first in the first film. She was in the first book. She was one of the main reasons Percy discovered that he was a son of Poseidon. She suddenly appeared in the second one, and the actress fit. Not gonna lie, she was fit. In the book, she's explained as stout, not fit. Um, but still played very well, very very well. Um, so I don't recall Clarice being it, though I could be mistaken. Also, for a movie called The Sea of Monsters, there was not joking about this. There was one sea monster. Literally, as they enter the Bermuda Triangle, the Sea of Monsters, the first and only sea monster appears. That's it. Um, they then go to Circe's Island, which did exist in the book. However, it was if memory serves again, it was a beauty parlor for females, and one of the funniest bits, which was Percy getting turned into a hamster, was completely skipped out. There was no beauty parlor. It was a theme park. Um, and I don't know if this is in the second book, but I know it's in the story somewhere. But Percy and co go to a abandoned theme park, and they get caught between a trap meant for Ares and Aphrodite, made by Hephaestus because of the love affair. Um, so that was completely skipped out. I did find it hilarious when Grover was introduced to be wearing a dress and a Cyclops eye, in order to fool the Cyclops into thinking that he was a sort of chambermaid of Cyclopses. Um, that was hilarious, and I'm pretty sure that was in the book as well. Got a few laughs out of that. Um, uh, what else? What else? Uh, oh yes. They finally mentioned, Kronos being stuck in Tartarus. They use the Golden Fleece to try and resurrect him. Percy then uh, beat Kronos using the Cursed Blade, which is Riptide. Also, one thing I like to say about the Riptide, I actually like. It's one of the few things I actually properly like about the film adaptation, is I like what they've done with the pen sword Riptide, because in the books it's a pen that when you take the cap off turns into a sword, and when you put the cap back when you put the cap on the tip of the sword, it turns back into a pen. I found that I could imagine that in my head it would look very awkward. So what they did in the film was they made it a clicky pen, so that you clicked it, it will turn into a sword, and then you just click the hilt, and it'll turn back. I actually quite like that adaptation. Um, what else? What else? So yeah, there was the final confrontation with Kronos. Um, very rushed, very very rushed. Luke's character was very douchey, but not in the likable douchey sense that was in the books. Like, you hated him, but you wanted him to be good. Whereas in this, he was just a straight up douche. And in one scene, the Percy was was creating a wave to surf on, and Luke was literally walking on that wave unsteadily, but you're still walking on it. But he shouldn't be able to do that in any sense. I don't know if that was in the book, but if it was, then fair enough. But if it wasn't, then that he shouldn't have been able to do that. It was just stupid. Um, I really should have caught up on the. I really should have read the book again before making this. But oh well, I don't really care. Barely anybody watches these anyway. So, wow, 9 minutes and 45 seconds. Um, but yeah, then at the this is very spoilery, by the way. bit late to do a spoiler, but I'll add it in the title. Um, At the end, it was revealed that Kronos would rise again. Also, the whole Talia thing was actually done quite well. Um, she did come back. Though, one thing they did miss was the whole Tyson and Percy thing. In the books, they went to school together. Percy didn't know he was a Cyclops. Then, during a dodgeball match, two kids from the other team started hurling flaming dodgeballs at them, and then Tyson caught them, revealing he was resistant to fire and that it was a Cyclops. There was no liquid mist. In the movie, there's a thing called liquid mist, which hides the fact that Tyson has only one eye, makes it look as if he's got two. Of course, I guess they couldn't be bothered taking, oh, I don't know, 2 minutes to explain how the mist works. Simple as this, humans can't see anything magical or mythical due to the mist. It hides everything. If they see something, they go to the most rational thing they can think of. If they see two people using magic and swords to fight, they'll see a gunfight. They could have explained that so simply. Instead, they decided, oh, you know what? Let's create a thing called liquid mist. For fuck's sake, that might have been in the actual book. I can't remember, though. It doesn't ring a bell. So, fuck it. Um, but yeah, that's my rant over. That has gotten some of my rage out from the film and from just general stuff. Though I'm sure you really don't give a shit, all 10 of you. Um, but yeah. What else? What else? What else? I'm trying to keep on talking at the same time as thinking. It's rather difficult. I'm not a woman. I cannot multitask. That is very sexist of me, but I don't give a shit. I'm all for equality. Um, but yeah, if on a different note, if you guys want to see me play a game, a different game, uh, just write in the comments if you can be bothered or if you actually care. And if I have it, if I can afford it in the near future, then I will definitely be playing it. I don't know how long the series would last, but you know, gonna try and get back into Black Mesa soon. Um, so let's stop for a minute for an awkward silence. There we go. How's that? Alright, but yeah, in general, the film Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters, as a film, was pretty good. As an adaptation, it was not so good. Not as bad as the first film, but not as good as it could have been. Um, I really hope that Rick Riordan wasn't maintaining stuff, because if he was, that's very bad, because he should have been there to correct things. However, from the credits, it just says adapted from a book made by Rick Riordan, something along those lines. But it was said to be an adaptation. I left before I could see if his name was anywhere else. If he was like a co-director, then I think shame on him. He could have made this a lot better. He should have made this a lot better. But yeah, that's my views on it. So yeah, like I should really stop saying so. Yeah, uh, as I do it straight away. So yeah, like, subscribe, become a mutant today. Peace.